Welcome to The Other Opinion. We're the channel that doesn't shy away from those less talked about perspectives, helping you get informed fast.
Exactly. And today we're really diving deep into the latest on Ukraine's security guarantees. It's complex.
It really is. We've got insights from BBC News. Ajia Robbins and George Wright reported on this, plus interviews with Steve Witkoff, Trump's special envoy from CNN and CBS, and various statements from European leaders.
Yeah, a lot to sift through.
Definitely. Get ready for some, well, surprising details and maybe some context you haven't heard elsewhere. And hey, if you like what we do, comment with your other opinions, and subscribe. Share it too.
Please do.
Okay, so let's jump in. The core thing seems to be this potential agreement. Reports say Russia might let the U.S. and Europe give Ukraine robust security guarantees.
Right, as part of a peace deal. And Witkoff, Trump's envoy, even used the phrase Article 5-like language. That's quite something.
It is. That's a NATO collective defense idea, basically. An attack on one is an attack on all. So is this meant to be like NATO light, an alternative?
Yeah. Well, that seems to be the thinking, doesn't it? Addressing that long-standing Russian concern about Ukraine actually joining NATO.
And Zelensky, what's his take?
He's called the U.S. offer historic, which is significant, but he's also been very clear it needs to be very practical.
Practical how?
Meaning real protection, land, air, sea, and importantly, developed with Europe, not just presented to them. He wants something tangible, not just paper promises.
Okay, that makes sense. And speaking of Europe, there's this coalition of the willing, UK, France, Germany.
Yeah.
They've apparently commended Trump's commitment here.
Yeah, and they're talking again about deploying a reassurance force after the fighting stops, helping secure the skies, the seas, rebuilding Ukraine's forces.
Macron in France is pushing for a united front, saying, if we're not strong today, we'll pay dearly tomorrow. Strong words.
Very strong. But how united is that front, really, especially long-term, committing forces, money?
That's the big question, isn't it? How far are they willing to go? And how much trust is there in Trump following through consistently?
Exactly. That adds another layer of, uncertainty.
Right. And then there's the really difficult part. Territory. The sources mention these discussions.
Yeah, the land concessions. That's always been the sticking point.
Putin reportedly put forward an offer. Ukraine withdraws from the Donetsk region, and Russia freezes the lines in Zaporizhia and Kherson. Witkoff mentioned concessions at the table, specifically mentioning Donetsk.
But Ukraine's stance on that seems, pretty firm.
How so?
Zelensky has flat out rejected giving up the Donbas region. He sees it as a potential springboard for future Russian attacks. Plus, it's complicated legally for him, too.
The Constitution.
Right. Ukraine's constitution actually requires a referendum for any change in territory, and that's before you even get into Russia's claims over Donbas and, of course, the illegal annexation of Crimea back in 2014. It's messy. Deeply
messy. Okay. And we have to touch on Trump's role in all this because it's dynamic, to say the least.
The personal diplomacy aspect?
Yeah. Remember that fiery exchange with Zelensky back in February? Trump telling him to be more thankful, accusing him of gambling with World War III.
Oof. Yeah. But then they seem to patch things up by April.
Apparently so. Ukraine even signed that minerals deal, giving the U.S. a financial stake, and they're willing to pay for U.S. weapons now? But then you contrast that with Trump's recent, very warm reception of Putin, calling their relationship fantastic. That must send some shivers through Kiev and other European cabinets.
You'd think so. It really highlights this complex dance, doesn't it? Personal relationships versus strategic interests, all playing out on this huge stage. It leaves everyone guessing.
So, wrapping this up for you listening, what does it all actually mean? It's clear the path to peace, if there is one, is incredibly complicated. You've got history, land disputes, shifting alliances, and it leaves us with this thought, maybe a provocative one. In a world with such tangled power dynamics and, let's face it, unpredictable personal diplomacy, what kind of robust security guarantee could actually deliver lasting peace for Ukraine? What does that even look like?
That is the core question, isn't it?
It really is. Well, that's our deep dive for today. Hope we gave you some food for thought on these less discussed angles. We're The Other Opinion, always trying to help you get properly informed.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks. And please do like this, comment with your own other opinions below, subscribe to the channel for more, and share this with anyone you think would find it interesting.
Definitely helps us out.
And just a quick note before we go, this was an AI-generated deep dive. We aim for accuracy, pulling from the sources we mentioned, but some information might be off. Always good to cross-reference and think critically.
Absolutely.
See you next time.